Case here in this series against the combo of Jocelyn Brisky and Vic Moten.
Yeah, the 1-2 punch for Bama in the circle has been so elite. The vertical split of the rise and the drop ball with Brisky, untouchable. And then Vic Moten came in yesterday, dominant. You know, she struggled to establish that drop in the strike zone, but once she found it, she was hard to beat.
So Moten retired the last 11 Auburn batters she faced yesterday, getting a one-hit shutout. Brisky, who gets the start here today, went the distance. Gave up 6 hits in throwing the shutout. And they will face, Alabama at the plate will face Ella Harrison. 26th appearance for her, her 22nd start of the season. She pitched well in game 1.
A steady dose of the drop balls in game 1. Bama, of all the pitches they saw, almost 66% of those coming at the knees and dropping right off the table.
Lineup for Alabama, Alexis Papillo in the leadoff spot. Brooke Wells hit her team best 17th home run of the season yesterday. Jenna Young moves up to the 5 spot in the lineup, and Lauren Johnson getting the start, hitting 8th and playing right field today. We're ready to go here at Auburn. 81 degrees at first pitch. Temperature's going to climb into the mid-80s as we go along. It's been a gorgeous weekend of weather, and the first pitch misses to Papillo for ball 1. Papillo hits in her last 2 at-bats yesterday, 2 for 4 Saturday, 3 for 8 with a run scored in the series. 37-game on-base streak. As she takes a ball, it's 2-0. Harrison had excellent command in game 1. Scattered those 8 hits, gave up the earned run, walked just 1. Through 94 pitches. 2-0.
That drop ball not being called. It's always interesting to me when you've got an arm that can establish one area of the strike zone over another. They're trying to find that pitching lane as early as possible. What can they get away with?
3-0 to Papillo. So 4-pitch walk. She extends her on-base streak to 38 games to get things started here in the first.
A couple of those pretty close, splitting hairs. If you're Bama, you're taking that information, especially Brooke Wells stepping into the box. 4 straight balls from Papillo. I'm taking till I get a strike.
Wells at 429, 17 homers, 45 runs batted in. There's a strike from Harrison. This is what she did. Here's a look into the dugout, wondering where the pitches were.
Yeah, you can see her asking, where is that? Where is this ball? How low is low?
Kate Malvo, co-head coach, along with Riker Chase and the pitching coach. In the dirt, blocked by Ratliff. 1-1. No changes in the lineup for Auburn here today, defensively or in the batting order. Maybe a little bit of a comms issue right here as Ratliff heads over and gets the assist from Kate Malvo.
Should be a pitch calling device they're swapping out there. She's able to look at the wrist to get the call from Coach Malvo in the dugout. You see co-head coach Kate Malvo overseeing the pitching and catching battery. Her husband, Chris Malvo, is the hitting brains behind this program. There he is. Spent a couple years at Tennessee, had quite a lot of success together. Back-to-back Women's College World Series appearances when they were on staff for the Vols.
2-1 the count now to Wells. Wells 2 for 7 in the series, 1 for 4 yesterday. That one was the home run to straightaway center field. A little bit more of a breeze here today. Not much wind at all yesterday. That's in there for a strike. It's 2-2.
We have an off speed from Harrison. Didn't see that a lot yesterday. Less than 20% of what she threw.
Flags got wrapped around the pole a little bit here, but just before
Is that
first
it,
pitch.
Eric?
Well, I'm telling you, it was blowing out to the left field foul pole before. I'm not a meteorologist, but sometimes I play one on TV.
We're manifesting a little bit of a breeze. There is a little bit of a breeze.
Now you're seeing, now you look at the leaves moving around. Maybe you're seeing things my way. Gorgeous, gorgeous weather here in Alabama. We're very fortunate. We know coast to coast they've been dodging rain. Wells hits one a mile foul. Wells had the solo shot yesterday.
More on the board.
See if she can deliver with somebody on here in the first. Gets away from the catcher. It's ball 4, back-to-back walks to get things started here. Remember, Harrison walked just one Alabama hitter on Friday night. Back-to-back walks here to start things out in Game 3 of the series.
This is a rough go here early for Ella Harrison. 8 balls, only thrown 3 strikes through the first 2 hitters that she's faced. I mentioned that's the challenge for a starting arm, is trying to figure out that strike zone as quickly as you possibly can.
Here's the number 3 hitter for the third-ranked Crimson Tide, Marley Giles. Giles lays down the bunt. Sacrifice is successful. Second and third, 1 out for Alabama. So a little small ball for Alabama with nobody out. Not afraid to go to it with the number 3 hitter at the plate. We saw it yesterday. Giles had a bunt single yesterday, this time straight sacrifice, and Chasen's going to go out to talk with Harrison.
Now this being, I think, an early temperature check from pitching coach Riker Chasen, stepping out to just figure out what's going on here early. Second season at Auburn for Coach Chasen.
Well, could be a couple of things here in play. 1, the temperature check. 2, first base is open. Do you want to face Ambry Taylor, the cleanup hitter?
Right.
Or now batting 5th is Jenna Young, who tripled twice off of Harrison on Friday night. With that recent history, maybe you take your chances with Taylor. Freshman steps in at 368, 8 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Sends a fly ball down the right field line, slicing foul, tracked down by the right fielder Walker. Tagging up and scoring the game's first run is Papillo, 1-0 Bama.
This is the choice that Walker had to make in right field. This ball is deep in foul territory, deep enough for sure, without a doubt, for Papillo at third to tag and go. Look how deep that takes her into the corner of right field.
100% though, you catch that, don't you? You need an out
Totally.
here. Alabama, you walk the first 2 batters. You're looking at a big inning. Now you've got 1 run in, but 2 outs here in the first.
Especially with Harrison struggling to find that strike zone early in this inning. Defense taking outs where they can get them.
Tough to get Young out. She dribbles it foul, and it's 0-2. 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI yesterday. 3 for 4 with a walk in the series. Mentioned those 2 triples on Friday night against Harrison. Hit 8th in Game 1, 7th in Game 2, batting 5th here today. Off the plate, framed by Ratliff, 1-2. Fouled off, we'll do it again. Young, the transfer from Iowa, who was a starter the last 2 years with the Hawkeyes from Winterset, Iowa. Hit .359 a season ago. Has stepped in, first year in the SEC, hitting .338. Another 1-2 from Harrison. Kate Malveaux taking a few steps out of the dugout here to voice her displeasure to the plate umpire, Garrett Knowles.
I'm going to be honest with you, Eric. I don't know where this miss is. This is at the top of the strike zone, just above belt high. Where is that? Where is that call?
2-2. On the previous pitch, if you're not getting that, you are destined to have a long day in the circle. Auburn's desperate for a win right now, so it's not going to take much for Kate Malveaux to reach the boiling point here. Oh, that comes up and in, hits Young in the helmet, takes a long look at the pitcher Harrison and flips the bat away.
A bit of a heated reaction here from Young. Things feeling a little tense, tight zone. This one coming up right on the ear of Jenna Young, the left-handed batter's box, and the stare down was definitely in effect.
When that happened to you in your playing days, were you happy about it?
I played heated, so yes. Absolutely.
Let's see if Young's on the move here on the first pitch to Vandegrift. Slow roller right side, it will stay fair, and that will do it for Alabama. They get one run in the first. That kind of feels like a win for Auburn in some ways. Could have been a big inning. Tigers coming to the plate when we come back. And Ambry Taylor with her 28th RBI of the season, accounting for the run in the first for Alabama. Auburn coming to the plate, and they will face Jocelyn Brisky for a second time this weekend. And here is the lineup with Shaw, Hastings, Walker, Roebuck, leading into Annalie Adams, Womack, Stroud, Ratliff, and Wilson. Kate Malveaux making friends with the rest of the umpiring crew after the yelling from the dugout. Phil Friel's down at third base with the handshake. Half swing, pop-up, foul ground, and Vandegrift, you could see, like, she turned her head away, and you played the outfield position. And again, we got a 1 o'clock Central start time, not a cloud in the sky, and it's going to be a battle, it looks like, for some of these fielders for these fly balls.
I told you yesterday in game 2, my nightmare was sun balls. I still have nightmares to this day, having been out of the game for 10 years, about losing a ball in the sun. But you see the visor, the sunglasses. I was not an eye black gal, but some do the eye black as well. Anything to shield the sun.
So there you see Jocelyn Brisky getting the start here today, the junior from Phoenix. Appeared in all 3 games of the Texas series last weekend. That was a series win for Alabama. They have won all 5 SEC series they've played here in 2026 after picking up the win yesterday. What impresses you about Jocelyn Brisky, Aaron?
She's pretty much a 50-50 split when it comes to the rise drop, and just looking at the pitch log from game 1 against Auburn. Occasional mix of that off speed. You saw that in the 3rd pitch of this at bat to Hastings, the 55-mile-an-hour off speed pitch, but for the most part, she split the zone 50-50 between that rise and that drop ball. Her vertical range is impressive.
2-2 to Alyssa Hastings. Ground ball to second. Young to first. 2 down. Here's Michaela Walker, senior right fielder at .320 on the season, 1 for 5 with a walk in the series. Auburn scored just 1 run in the 3 games against Arkansas last weekend, looking for their first run of the weekend against Alabama. The bat's ice cold for the Tigers. 119 over the last 5 games for Auburn.
A lot of honest conversations with this coaching staff about the adjustments that have to be made. Chris Malveaux, the co-head coach, the hitting mind behind this team. There he is talking shop with the squad. He was pretty straightforward with us. At times, it can get a little too complex. They can overwork the approach, and I think they're at the point where they just got to see the ball and hit the ball.
He's looking for full commitment. We saw with Shaw, half swing, check swing. He just is like, look, swing and miss or hit it 250 feet, doesn't matter. Swing away, be committed to it, and it's a strikeout looking for Walker. Brisky with a 1-2-3 inning to get things started. 1-0 after 1 here at Auburn. For 1 in RPI entering the weekend, firmly in position if things continue on this track to be one of those coveted top 8 seeds in the NCAA
We've
tournament.
had a lot of conversations about that. For Bama, trying to stay above that line, the top 8 is key for them this postseason. Had a tough run through supers the last few years. Had to go through Norman last season. It's one of the more complete teams that we've seen from Alabama in a while. The defense, the offense, the pitching. And a solid mix, I think, of the puzzle pieces. You've got the transfers, seniors, a lot of senior leadership, although 2 only in the starting order. And a pretty impactful group of freshmen that have hit the ground running second they stepped onto campus.
Sadlin Hawkins in her second year with the Crimson Tide. Ground ball moving to her left. Hastings throws it to first. 1 away here in the second. I think one very instructive thing with Alabama is you take a look at their numbers from a year ago and their numbers as we play here today. So 2025 is complete season. So, you know, you're going to go through the rest of the SEC regular season. You're going to go through the SEC tournament. You've got the NCAA tournament. So the numbers are going to change. But where they are right now, a big leap offensively for Alabama.
Huge.
Lauren Johnson in the lineup today. She lifts it foul.
Culturally, too, Pat Murphy went on and on about this group. Totally bought in, player-led, and that's not always the case with each team. Not that it's good or bad, but that this is a squad that takes a lot of responsibility for themselves, has no issues from a cultural standpoint.
Johnson offered. It's 0-2. Well, you mentioned there's some freshmen who are making an impact, and they're in the everyday lineup. There are some transfers making an impact in the everyday lineup, and some seniors who have had to be selfless and give up some playing time to try to make the team better. And that's not always easy for some teams to handle and work through, but if it's player-led, I think sometimes that makes it a little bit easier. Ground out by Johnson. 2 down.
Actually, 3 seniors in this starting order. Got Papillo in the leadoff. Giles in the 3-hole. Kristen White, who steps in, also a senior in the 9-hole.
White's been a regular in the lineup over these last couple of weeks. She was in a supporting role first part of the season. Senior from Phoenix City. Takes ball 1.
Much cleaner of an inning for Ella Harrison in the circle. Hanging around the zone, trying to establish again that drop ball. A couple ground ball outs for her defense.
That's off the plate. Walked the first 2 batters she faced here today. Giles then sacrificed. Sacrifice fly by Taylor brought in the only run. Hit Young in the helmet with the pitch, but then got Vandergriff on the slow roller to end things in the first. Comes back in for a strike. 2-1. White has elite speed. Can't bunt her way on. It's 2-2.
And 9 stolen bases on the year. I mean, she, in my opinion, works as like a secondary leadoff. She rolls the lineup over so well. A true triple threat at the plate for Alabama. Can swing, can bunt, can pound the ball into the ground. Probably one of the fastest on this team.
Well, she was the leadoff hitter as a sophomore for Alabama. Vandergriff was in the leadoff spot last year. White lifts one to shallow left, but playing shallow was Shaw, comes on to make the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Ella Harrison. 1.5 complete, 1-0 Bama. Crimson have been rewarded with 2 wins against their rivals as Alabama took game 1, 1-0, took game 2, 4-0. Auburn trying to salvage a game in this series, down 1-0. Haven Roebuck to lead things off for the Tigers. Take strike 1.
7 home runs in a freshman season for Auburn, part of the reload for this roster. They graduated 6 of their starting 9 offensively last year. Had a lot to backfill.
0-2 the count to Roebuck, 1 for 6 in the series. Brisky gets the strikeout. That's her second. 1 away here in the second.
Rice ball is just so tight. The spin on this, break up in the zone. I mean, you can see that starts about letter high, comes up to the back of that shoulder. Late break through the top of the strike zone. So elite.
Soft liner, gloved by Young. Kind of an awkward move, but she got there to catch it before it hit the dirt. 2 down. Adams retired. Here's Mania Womack, center fielder. She swings at the first pitch, but fouled it off her foot for strike 1. Fly ball, center field. White drifting back to the track, bumps against the wall and has it. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jocelyn Brisky. 1-0 Alabama. As we head to the third, we'll chat with Chris Malveaux next. Beyond the outfield wall, just to make sure that, is there any poultry or anything that we should warn to run for cover here?
You know, I know it's frustrating. You know, we have seen the magic of the Malveaux throughout their career. We understand the impact specifically on the offensive side. Chris is just such a brilliant mind.
But you could see, like, you need to start talking about, you've got to come up with ways. He's going with live chicken, you know. Well, I don't know if we want to go for the eagle on top of the scoreboard. That would be sacrilegious here at Auburn. We can't do that. But sometimes, you know, you played softball for a long time. You could feel great and nothing's happening, and then you could feel terrible, and then it starts to happen. Like, you just need to break out of that funk somehow.
That's it. Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. That was always something I kept telling myself throughout my playing days, where it's like you can have all of the analysis, all of the data in the world. At some point, you got to step in there and just take a cut.
That's what Alexis Papillo's been doing for Alabama. Moved up to the leadoff spot in that Texas series. On-base machine, 38-game on-base streak. After walking in the first, she came around to score the game's only run. This is a fly ball hit well, and it is carrying to the track, to the wall. It is gone. Home run number 13 on the season for Alexis Papillo. 2-0 Bama.
A young woman that has committed her offseason to the weight room, wanted to increase power, and she's found it. Keep in mind, that was a drop ball that she golfed mid-shin over the deepest part of this field. And looking back at her pitch sequencing, 65% of what she has seen against Ella Harrison has been drop balls. And it was a matter of time before she tightened up that pitch.
Here's Brooke Wells. Aaron talked about the commitment that Papillo made last year .302 hitter, 7 homers, 30 runs batted in, was 1 for her final 15 on the season through the postseason. And here she is leading the team in hitting. This one is crushed over the lights, over everything. Home run, Brooke Wells, 3-0 tied.
This Bama team, I think, has just done their homework. They saw Harrison for 7 innings in game 1. They did not have an answer specifically to that drop ball. Harrison held them only to 1 run the first time she faced him. And again, I think that Bama went back and did their homework on this arm.
Strike 1 to Marley Giles. Wells with her 2nd home run of the series, 18 on the season. I don't think that smile is going to leave her face anytime soon, because when you talk about getting everything on a swing, that's what happened on this swing by Brooke Wells. Wow.
And that was a rise ball. Again, I'm going back and looking at these pitch logs. 60% of what Brooke Wells has seen out of the hand of Harrison is rise balls. So it's that cat and mouse game, right? It's the chess piece of like, okay, where have I had success before, and how can I keep the target moving? Bama understands preparation. Both of these programs do. They understand scouting, film, data, and have to change it up.
Giles finds the hole, and it's a base hit for Marley Giles. That's her 3rd of the series. She's aboard with nobody out here in the 3rd.
I'm curious how long this leash will be for Ella Harrison.
Double-barreled action in the Auburn bullpen at the moment.
Butler, the freshman, looked really good for Auburn yesterday.
Blaine Godfrey is the righty.
Butler over there on the left side.
On the left side, rather. Abby Herndon working as well. Here is Embry Taylor. Brought in Alabama's first run with a sacrifice fly. One. 2-1. Look out in the Alabama dugout. Taylor with a couple of RBI in the series. Harrison gave up just the 1 run Friday night. Alabama's got 3 on the board, trying to add more. Slow roller to 3rd. The force at 2nd. That's all they'll get, as Giles is retired, the first out of the 3rd inning.
Remember, we had that heated exchange in the 1st inning with Jenna Young, who steps in, had that hit by pitch right in the ear. Young had a little bit of a lull mid-season. Struggled a bit at the plate, but had that massive 3-run shot against Texas to win that series. It was a huge weekend for Alabama.
Sends it out to left field. Another hit for Jenna Young. That's her 4th of the series. Now 4 for 5 with a walk and hit by a pitch. 1st and 2nd for Alabama with 1 down here in the 3rd.
And she's been good in the meat of this order. I always look in the center. That's, 6, 7, 8, where you can be the connective tissue for the starting 9. How do you keep things in motion for this lineup? And Young has been that, consistent.
Ball 1 to Audrey Vandergriff. Grounded out in the first, 2 for 7 in the series. Two and 0. Harrison had really good command Friday night against Alabama, trying to find it here in game 3 of the series. Vandergriff lifts a fly ball towards foul ground, long run and a diving play, sliding but unable to grab it is Walker.
Good chase there by Walker. That would have been the second ball that she could have caught foul territory. I thought it hit the glove. Getting a lot of work over there.
Good pitch in there for a strike. 2-2 from Harrison. Sophomore transferred in from Rutgers, making her team high 26th appearance of the season. Team high 22nd start of the season.
Vandergriff, another one of those speedsters, 9 stolen bases. The only other pair of legs with 9 stolen bases is Kristen White, the 9-hole. Won a state championship running the 200-meter.
Ground ball, knocked down by the shortstop, but everybody's going to be safe. Holding at third is Taylor. Bases loaded, infield hit for Vandergriff. Hastings knocked it down, likely saved a run. And Alabama has them loaded with 1 down here in the 3rd.
We've yet to see Alabama really bust the gates open offensively. It feels like the game has always been within a swing or 2 of the reach of Auburn. This could be one of those moments, especially early in this ball game, where they could kick in the door.
Time called by Harrison.
A little shocked there hasn't been maybe a pitching change.
Letting her work through it right now with Hawkins at the plate, who grounded to short her first time. Hoping to get a ground ball here. They get strike 1. Infield pitching in to get the runner at the plate if there is a ground ball off the bat of Hawkins, who was 2 for 3 yesterday. Blocked by Ratliff behind the plate, 1-1. Ground ball to third. The force at the plate for 1. The throw to first, not in time. Auburn cuts down a run at the plate to keep it a 3-0 game.
Best case scenario here if you're Auburn, rolling into that easy ground ball, able to get the force at home. That's Harrison doing her job. Hammer in the hands for the rollover to Roebuck.
Here's Lauren Johnson. Bases loaded, 2 down now for Bama. In there for strike 1. Johnson grounded to third her first time. Lazy fly ball, right center field. Moving on, getting a good jump on it is Walker. And that will do it for Alabama here in the top of the 3rd. Papillo and Wells go back-to-back with home runs to put Alabama on top 3-0 here at Auburn. Once again, Again, Alabama shutting out Auburn 1-0 in game 1 of the series, 4-0 in game 2, 3-0 here in game 3 as the Tide go for the sweep, and they've gone to the long ball again. 2 home runs in the 3rd inning. Papillo and Wells go back-to-back with solo shots. That gives Alabama 69 home runs on the season, good for 3rd in the SEC behind Oklahoma and Florida. And to be fair, Oklahoma has lapped the field when it comes to team home runs this season.
Video game-like numbers.
148 home runs for Oklahoma after last night's win over Texas.
I always hesitate to say that number on air because I feel like at any second it could change.
or like, how could it possibly be true in just about mid-April?
I'm like, are they playing right now? Surely that number's changed.
148. And Florida's got to feel pretty good. Yeah, we've got 84 home runs, but
look at the difference
we
between
are 64
1 and 2.
behind.
That is nuts. That is nuts.
That's a strike. And the count 0-2 to Kyla Stroud.
It's been a wild weekend in Austin. Been some fun games to watch.
Oklahoma getting their 7th straight win with the victory last night, 4-3. Kendall Wells, another home run. That's 31 for the freshman, a new NCAA freshman home run record. Going for the sweep in Austin today, but Texas with a 3-1 lead as they play in the 3rd inning at Texas. Strikeout for Brisky. That's her 3rd, one down in the 3rd. Jocelyn Brisky, in the words of her head coach, much better than last year. She was 17-13 a year ago, had a 2.99 ERA, but her numbers entering play here today, 15-1. Short hop picked by Taylor, and Ratliff is quickly retired.
Now, if you're Auburn, Eric, I think just slowing the game down. They had a 3-up, 3-down inning in the 1st, 3-up, 3-down in the 2nd, already 2 quick outs here in the 3rd. I'd be trying to slow down the pace of play, juice some offense here for the Tigers.
Brisky just wants it, and she wants to throw it. And again, swinging at the first pitch, fouled off by Wilson for strike 1. Oh, Brisky, Aaron, 91 innings of work entering play today. 126 strikeouts, just 13 walks in those 91 innings.
Efficient.
She's got a whip of .8, which is 5th in the SEC.
Look, and this is coming from somebody that I personally loved swinging early in the count. I love swinging at first pitch strikes, especially against an arm like Brisky. But the way this game has unraveled, slow it down.
Swinging at strikes.
Exactly. Strikes, exactly.
That's a key thing.
But there is a momentum to the game. There's a pace of play. There, again, it's some of that sixth sense of offense where, all right, as much as you love to swing early and often, we got to slow some things down.
Saw the numbers for Brisky, 8 first pitch strikes, and this is the 9th batter she's faced. Auburn looking for their first base runner. The count is 3-1 to the number 9 hitter, Diggle Wilson. Three and 2. Brisky gets the strikeout, 2 in the inning, 4 in the game for Jocelyn Brisky. We've played 3 at Auburn.
That's the off-speed drop out of the hand to Brisky. 3 up, 3 down, 3 innings in a row. Bama in control, 3-0.
Thank you. So Charlie Butler will come on. She was impressive yesterday in relief for Auburn against Alabama.
She was, and you and I had that theory. She had a great outing. We saw her pulled out of the game pretty quickly, which I thought she was in control. And you and I both guessed it. We may see her in game 3, and sure enough, here she is, a freshman righty. And she looked great yesterday. Kept the ball low, mixed speeds with a lot of precision.
Starts with ball one to Kristen White. Butler yesterday, 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, walked 1, struck out 3.
Yeah. She looked in control, very poised, came in, answered the call.
There's a strike, it's 1-1. White flied out to left her first time. Run in the first, 2 in the third for Alabama. Runs have been hard to come by for the Crimson Tide, but they've just needed 1 a game so far. White left side, Hastings to first, 1 away. That's the tough thing for Alabama too, and that's why it's so important here for Charlie Butler. 3-0 game, you would think in most cases, well, we can handle that. You know, let's get the bats up there, keep it 3-0. But
yeah,
with how cold Auburn has been at the plate, 3-0 feels like 10-0 right now for the Tigers.
That, I think, has been the story all weekend long. I had a chance to call Auburn last weekend when they faced the Razorbacks. And 2 of the 3 of their cylinders, pretty consistent. Their staff piecing some things together. Pretty solid approach in the circle. Riker Chasen managing these arms. Defense, again, good enough to get the job done. Buying offense time to figure things out at the plate. And it's just been silent. They have not been able to catch the wind under their wings at the plate.
Papillo, a couple of runs scored for Alabama. Walked and scored in the first. Hit her 13th home run of the season, leading off the third. Two and 1. In there for a strike, 2-2.
That pitch was the difference maker yesterday. 53-mile-an-hour changeup, and she spotted it so well against Alabama in game 2.
Count goes full to Lex Papillo. 4 for 9 in the series, 3 runs scored. Do it again. Another 3-2 to Papillo. She's aboard for the 3rd time today. Now bring up Brooke Wells, who has enjoyed hitting here at Auburn this weekend.
Monster, absolute monster shot right at the knees. Almost hit the flagpole, right center field.
That one was high and deep for her 18th home run this season. Earlier in this game, she takes ball 1. Wells from Round Rock, Texas, played at Houston last year. 10 home runs with the Cougars a year ago. 18 with the Tide. One and 1. Good week for Wells, by the way, in the midweek for Alabama. Hit a 3-run home run Tuesday against South Alabama. Alabama has won 5 in a row. Looking for the sweep here today. Gets away from the catcher Ratliff, and Papillo will take second on the wild pitch. Two and 1 the count to Brooke Wells. Called a strike, 2 and 2.
sure what Wells is looking for if it's not that. 2 one-hitters count. That one in her power alley, middle half in. If I am Butler, I may be pulling the string here.
Wells fights it off. Another 2-2. Ground ball right side. Waiting on it is Wilson. Throws on to Adams. 2 down. Papillo over the third. Here's Marley Giles, sacrificed in the first, singled in the third. Her third hit of the series. Hit here would put Alabama on top 4-0. Takes ball 1.
Huge jump in numbers from her junior to senior year, batted .275. Now holding down the fort in the 400s.
Remember, she came on at the end of last year.
Yeah.
She was 7 of 8 at the plate in the South Carolina series, and a lot of times you'll just find something at the end of the year, and that's a springboard to the offseason, and you carry it over into the spring. Time called here as Chase and the pitching coach will come out and talk to the freshman Butler.
Well, Patrick Murphy he was pretty straightforward. He said she had a big maturity pill this offseason, was way too hard on herself during that junior year, and decided that her senior season was going to be it.
I kept a note here. Were you a trash talker in your playing days at Oklahoma?
Lightly.
Lightly?
Lightly.
I kept a note from last year when we were talking about Marley Giles, and they said she was an elite trash talker in practice. Now, just watching her from afar here, a lot of times, number 34, she seems...
I wouldn't pin her as that at all.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you hear elite trash talker,
You're
and
like,
then you
that's
ask
a
for some
big title.
examples, but I don't know if I can share all the examples probably, but... Well, apparently she's got the respect of her teammates for the trash talking because she's wearing the C
She's earned it
on her jersey as well.
She's already eclipsed her entire season hit totals from last year. I thought the other thing that was funny is the leadership position. You see the C on the chest. Coach said she's not afraid to tell somebody to get their stuff together. A little different word was used there, but not afraid to be honest, not afraid to use her voice, very straightforward teammate. We all need that teammate that's going to call us on our stuff.
Or if you're an elite trash talker, just to check the ego a little bit,
just
put
a little
pin
bit,
in
humble
that balloon.
me a little bit.
Yep. 3-1. Giles had 3 hits in that midweek win on Tuesday. She's got 3 hits in this series. This is popped up on the infield. Adams at first puts it away, and that will retire the side. Heading to the bottom of the 4th here at Auburn, 3-0 Bama. And if you weren't aware, the leadoff hitter for Oklahoma in that series is sitting to my right, Aaron Miller. I know it's supposed to be about Auburn and honoring the 2016 team.
Hey, that was
here.
a heck of a team. That was a heck
You
of a
played
team.
against
Yeah,
them.
they were very,
Took you to game 3.
very tough team.
What do you remember?
Cooper sitting right there, absolute stud third baseman, stud lefty swinger, such a gamer. I have vivid memories of playing outfield, being a little bit scared in the outfield.
You were out right field.
I was like, all right, there's going to be something coming my way. Power alley for her bat.
You were on your toes when she came to the plate.
Yeah, she was a stud.
Shaw sends it foul.
Those were some heated 3 games, too. Very intense matchup between Auburn and Oklahoma, those 3 games.
270 career RBI for Dr. Cooper, number 1 on the SEC all-time list.
And a doctor. Can we talk about that? That's incredible.
Hey, if you're going to be elite in softball,
Your
that's
whole life.
usually
Exactly.
an indication that you're going to be elite in your
life.
post-playing days.
Totally.
That misses for a ball to Shaw, flight out to left, her first time. Auburn looking for their first hit as they bat here in the 4th inning. They were one hit by Vic Moten yesterday. That's off the plate for a ball. Yeah, I love going back to old box scores. So, you know, I mean, to do the research for that series, I had to go way back in time. You know, like it was.
You're calling me old.
You saw
way
where I was
back,
going.
way back in the archives.
When you think back to playing and winning a Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City for Oklahoma, what is the #1 memory that comes to mind 10 years later? And it's not way back in time. It's just, you know, 5 minutes ago. Swing and a miss, strikeout for Brisky. Is there something that is front of mind when you think back to those days?
You know, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, it was such a whirlwind. It almost feels a little bit blurry to me because of how fast it all
And you're
moved.
trying to stay in the moment.
You are. You're trying to savor it, every pitch, every at-bat. But I think the one memory I have was that last out that we made. I was playing right field. And I just remember that sprint into the circle, you know, after the last out had been secured.
I always wondered, watching anything, a softball celebration, World Series celebration in baseball, in Major League Baseball, do you have your eyes on someone, or is it like if you think back to Jim Valvano when North Carolina State won the men's basketball championship, he's looking for anybody to hug?
Anybody.
Were you just like first person you're tackling, or was there someone that you had targeted?
We were all headed to the pitcher's circle.
Okay.
And at that point, it's like I was going to do the flying squirrel leap no matter who I was going to land on, and we were going to dogpile in the pitcher's circle.
But you don't want to be on the bottom of the dog pile. That seems uncomfortable.
No, you definitely don't.
But you were going to go, did you do flying squirrel?
I definitely jumped. I leaped into the abyss, for sure. The sense of relief, though, I do remember that feeling and that sensation of getting that last out's always the hardest. And that sprint in of just like, we did it.
Just think about how long the season is. Fall ball,
Yeah.
winter workouts, starting in February. This is crushed to straightaway center field. And Auburn has their first hit and their first run of the weekend. It's a solo home run for Alyssa Hastings. The Tigers on the board.
If anybody was going to break through for Auburn, it had to have been Alyssa Hastings, the Lipscomb transfer, a junior on this squad. And I'll never forget talking to Chris Malvo about this grab out of the transfer portal. He said, I wish I had 10 Alyssa Hastings on this roster. Check out that hug. I mean, that says everything.
That right there is about the most genuine hug you're going to see with the co-head coach and hitting coach for this Auburn team. Finally seeing someone make solid contact and get Auburn on the board.
Talk about relief.
Mm-hmm.
That one had to feel good.
Hastings, top hitter on this team, came in just under 400. That's her 5th home run of the season. 51st home run for Auburn, but it had been a while for the Tigers. Soft roller off the bat of Walker. She's retired. 2 down here in the 4th. Here's the homer.
Couldn't have been a more perfect pitch to get a hold of. Belled high, middle away. Look at that. I mean, you see the relief. You feel like finally we get to taste this again. But now the real question is, what is this squad going to do with that hit?
Ball 1 to Haven Roebuck, who struck out her first time. 2 down here in the 4th. A run in for Auburn to make it a 3-1 game. Lined foul. It's 1-1. Well, wind picking up a little bit as well, blowing out to left at the moment.
Back to Eric's part-time
It was
meteorologist
really whipping
job.
about 6 seconds ago, I promise. Now it's shifted to in, which feels comfortable on a day like today. That's off of Giles. 2-1 the count to Roebuck. called a strike. It's 2-2.
Think about what happened through the first 3 innings before that bomb. It was 3 up, 3 down for Auburn. The first, the second, and the third.
And the lead off of the fourth, yeah.
Exactly. They start this inning off with a K, and they run into the buzzsaw of Hastings.
Waiting on it. That's dropping quickly, and it's down for a base hit. Roebuck has her second hit of the series. She's aboard with 2 down here in the fourth. Visit to the mound coming from Lance McMahon, the pitching coach for Alabama, as Jocelyn Brisky has given up a couple of hits here in the fourth inning.
Brisky has been so good through 3 innings. I don't think this is anything to panic over. Brisky was money in game 1, the rise, the drop. The range of those 2 pitches is really, it's a big spread for Auburn to have to cover. But what you saw at Hastings was that one was hung, and she took advantage of it.
Well, here comes the batter for Auburn that they need to get going here as we move towards the second half of the season. Annalie Adams, a sophomore, first-team All-Conference a year ago, hit .390, trying to find her swing here in 2026, and she takes strike 1.
I can remember when she was a freshman last season, Coach Malvo talking about the gift that this young lady had at the plate. Loves to hit, spends countless hours in the cages, and literally played like a 5th-year senior in her first year at Auburn. So confident, incredibly talented at the plate.
Lays off, it's 1-2. Big rip. I think that's what, and we've talked to Chris Malvo about it, that's what he wants to see. Just be up there. Trust it. Let it go. She let it go on that swing. Ground ball too short. Hawkins on to first, and that will do it for Auburn. But the Tigers break through against Alabama. Alyssa Hastings with the home run. And who's the happiest person in the ballpark? The co-head coach and her hitting coach, Chris Malvo, with a big hug. A couple of wins so far against Ole Miss in their 3-game series in Oxford. Tennessee and Kentucky playing the Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. Carlin Pickens had a no-hitter game 1 for the Lady Vols, 5-0 yesterday. This is a fly ball hit deep to left center field. It is gone. Another home run for Alabama. Ambry Taylor with the 3rd long ball of the game for the Crimson Tide. 4-1, Bama.
Had a 2-for-4 day yesterday. 1 for 3 here with a shot. How about the answer from the Tide? They give up a bomb last inning and immediately answer with one themselves. I mean, that ball's right down Broadway. An off-speed pitch from Butler, but guess who's on time for it? It's Taylor. Sitting on that speed and got exactly what she was looking for.
9th home run of the season, 2nd RBI today, 3 RBI in the series for the freshman, Ambry Taylor. You see Alabama, first 2 games, 5 runs total. They've got 4 on the board today, and they're getting ready to face their 3rd Auburn pitcher of the day as Blaine Godfrey is going to come on for the Tigers. It was Harrison with the start. Butler came on in relief, and now it's Godfrey's turn in the circle as the freshman gets loose.
Back-to-back freshman arms for Auburn. Low in the zone, you're gonna see her hang at the knees. That was the location that gave Bama the most fits in game 1 against Harrison. They've had an answer for it here in game 3.
Adam, 4-1 Alabama, 3 home runs. Papillo, Wells, and Taylor going deep. That gives Alabama 70 home runs on the season after hitting 60 total last year in 63 games. Jenna Young first to face Godfrey. Ball 1. Young hit by a pitch in the first, singled in the third. 4 hits this weekend for the junior second baseman.
Young slowly moving up in this lineup. We've seen her in the 8-hole, the 7-hole, now sitting in the 5-hole.
Two-0 to Young. 2-1. Alabama has the 4-1 lead. They've had opportunities in all 3 games to put more across than what they've scored so far. Left 2 on base in the first, left them loaded in the third, left a runner on in the fourth. Three solo home runs today for the Crimson Tide. Yesterday it was a solo shot by Wells. "3-2. Slapped foul, and we'll do it again.
You mentioned the long ball. I think that was something that we chatted about in regards to speed of Alabama. Previous seasons, stole a lot of bases, talked about the green light girls is how Coach Murphy describes 11 of his players on this roster that have the speed good enough to go when they see fit. I haven't been able to do that as much this year because of the long ball, because of the run production.
Young is aboard for the 3rd time today. Here is Vandegrift with nobody out here in the 5th inning. Infield single her last time, 1 for 2 today. 3 for 8 in the series. Looks to bunt, lays it down. She's got great speed, and she's going to beat it out. Young going 1st to 3rd because no one's covering 3rd as Auburn was covering the bunt. Good heads-up base running by Jenna Young. She did not pause going around 2nd base. 1st and 3rd for Bama, nobody out here in the 5th.
Perfectly executed by Vandegrift. And on the right side of the field, up the first base side is where she placed this ball. I want you to take a look at Jenna Young. She never put on the brakes. We mentioned the green light girls for Alabama. That is exactly what that means. Heads up, high IQ on the base pass. And now runners at 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Another pitching change for Auburn as Abby Herndon comes on. As she gets loose, will step aside here at the Plains. 4-1 Alabama, 2 on, nobody out here in the 5th inning. And a pinch hitter coming up for Alabama. But first, we'll tell you about the new pitcher for Auburn, Abby Herndon, making her 2nd appearance of the weekend. Or not.
I'm gonna blame that one on the pregnancy brain.
You've done an amazing job this weekend. There goes Vandegrift. She'll take 2nd base without the throw.
I was giving you the floor, partner. Your time to shine. Give me the analysis of Herndon. Now, this is the lefty. Saw her warming up in the game earlier. This is true east and west movement. Curve, screw. 3 speeds from this arm, but it is a very different look from the arms Bama has seen so far in game 3.
Roman started in right the first 2 games of the series. She's at the plate with the 2-0 counts with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out for Bama. Green lights on the 2-0. Can't get the off speed. It's 2-1. Three and 1.
I used the term thumber yesterday. We were breaking down the definition of that. She is a thumber. You're going to see her flip the ball at the hip. It's not going to come at you fast. Cannot be out in front of this arm.
Just missed for ball 4. The bases are loaded for Alabama with nobody out. Lauren Johnson 0 for 2 today, a ground out and a fly out.
That's what makes Herndon so tough. I mean, that's virtually the same pitch, the curveball. Almost 15 miles an hour difference. The same spin, the same break. Same location. So if you're tracking that ball at the plate, you're keying in on the release point, how it's spinning towards the strike zone, and then all of a sudden, you also have to key in on the speed. You got to be on time for both.
Two and 1 to Johnson. This young Auburn team, another freshman being put to the test in the circle right now. Ground ball to 3rd, throw to home, good catch, and then Young in a collision with Ratliff. Ratliff had to reach back to catch it. Patrick Murphy, the first one to get to the plate umpire, Garrett Knowles. Kate Malveaux coming over to wait her turn for a conversation here. Anytime you see a collision.
We've already seen a couple different situations, heated situations specifically with Jenna Young.
Umpires are going to get together here. It looked to me like just that awkward move, Aaron, that Ratliff had to make to reach back and get that force play, just kind of threw everything out of sync for base runner, catcher.
Combination of where the throw took her, as well as her trying to make sure that her back foot hit home plate.
Alabama is challenging the call at home plate. That call is under video review.
So head coach Patrick Murphy asking for a look at this play at home. You can see the throw takes her low. She looks back to try and get that foot on the bag, and that's when the collision happens.
I think she made contact with the plate, and Young certainly had access to the plate, did she not?
This can get a little bit subjective.
So they're looking at it in Birmingham. Let's see if we can take another look from a different angle here.
Here's a good high home. Look, you see the throw takes her up the line, off body throw. She's looking back to make sure that that ball's in the glove. As she's getting up, Jenna Young, it's almost like a chest slam into Ratliff. Leaping over home plate.
Young was in the air. I think Ratliff got that foot back. Again, it was awkward, so she was reaching for it a little bit. It's a force play reminder because the bases were loaded. So no need for the tag, obviously.
It looked like Jenna Young hopped over the plate.
You know, also something in play here too, Aaron, is just the contact at the plate. We showed you just a moment ago collisions guidance. So I don't think this is a blocking situation.
I think too a key word here is may slide into the base to make contact with the fielder. There was no slide attempt there. That was just a full-on body slam contact at home plate. I didn't think anything was flagrant, at least as far as Ratliff goes, in trying to make that catch.
Is there anything Auburn here, and I could be putting you on the spot, Auburn can do here to protect their catcher? Because Young didn't slide or make an attempt to slide. As you pointed out, she left the ground.
Yeah, I mean, leaping over home plate, not even a foot attempt to try and sneak in the side there.
Was she trying to get in the air, maybe to grab the back of the plate?
Hop over the tag. It was a low throw. It happens so fast. I definitely remember that, being a runner, being on defense. The way that those things unravel happens so quickly.
I think they're getting word from Birmingham right now, so we should have an announcement pretty shortly here. When you see multiple umpires go to the earpiece to, pop it in the ear canal a little tighter just to hear, universal sign that we're getting close.
They're chewing on this one for a minute.
All right, Phil Freels will sort it all out for us. Here he goes.
After a video review, the call at home plate is confirmed. The runner is out. Second option, a retired runner had interference. Therefore, by rule, the runner closest to home is out. That will be 2 outs. Third, we will have an unsportsmanlike warning issued to number 4 of Auburn. Alabama has used one of their challenges. They will have one left.
So you talk about challenges that go horribly wrong. Alabama challenged it, and we just had...
Correction, the warning is on Alabama, number 4.
And we just had the triple option pulled out.
Wow.
By
not only 1 out,
Phil Freels.
2 outs, and a warning on Jenna Young.
Well, that's what I was wondering, asking you, Aaron. What's the protection for the catcher here? Because she has it 3 steps before Young gets to the plate. Young doesn't attempt to slide or avoid contact at all. So I think that's what Auburn was wondering. But then the additional piece where, because of that contact, they're going to call another Alabama runner out. And they're still trying to sort this all out right now. It hasn't been sorted out completely because Alabama still has the bases loaded.
Well, you see head coach Patrick Murphy having a discussion here with both umpires because he issued this replay. He asked for this to be under review, and unfortunately this went drastically a different way than he was hoping. What a
so
huge
if
break.
We're going through what the announcement, shouldn't Vandegrift be out as well? Wasn't that the announcement from the umpire?
Correct.
Yeah, now she's leaving the bag.
Correct.
I don't know what your experience is, Aaron, but generally I am good for either it's a 1-game series, 2-game, how many games, to have something happen in a game that you haven't seen before.
Never
when it
seen
comes
that.
to rules
Totally.
interpretations.
And I think that they got it right. I mean, especially looking at the attempt at home plate from Jenna Young, it didn't appear either the feet, hands, body in any way was trying to reach home plate as much as it was trying to get contact with Ratliff.
So Young has been issued a warning. Now, you pointed it out a couple of times. She got hit by a pitch up in the helmet earlier in this game. You played the game. You have a long memory. Do things like that play into how you run the bases
Some
sometimes?
emotions, absolutely.
Okay.
Some intensity.
And this was earlier in the game when she was hit by a pitch. This was in the first inning, and she looked out at the mound and flipped the bat away. And now she's been warned for unsportsmanlike conduct after the collision at the plate. So it turns into a double play thanks to the Alabama challenge. White takes the ball, it's 3-0.
If you're Auburn, looking for something to be a spark to a fire, I'd be rallying around this turn of events.
Starts here with Herndon trying to get out of the jam. She throws a strike to Kristen White. 3-1 to the number 9 hitter for Alabama, 0 for 2 today. White takes a walk, bases loaded again for Alabama.
Well, now you got to face, I think, the toughest part of this order. Papillo, who homered in the third. Behind her, Brooke Wells also homered in the third. That was the out that you wanted in the 9 hole. She ends up walking her, putting her on base.
Ratliff will head out. Also, during that long review and the huddle for Auburn earlier, I did see Ratliff chatting with the athletic trainer. Olivia Kim is the athletic trainer for Auburn, because, you know, it was contact in which she was reaching back. So sometimes when you're in an awkward position like that, then there's some contact, you're gonna feel a little bit, but she's tough. She's staying in the game. Now Chris Malveaux is heading over to the plate umpire Garrett Knowles.
Potentially another change.
And we will have the 5th pitcher of the afternoon for Auburn as S.J. Guerin heads out to the circle. Bases loaded for Alabama with 2 down here in the 5th. Back here at Auburn, Patrick Murphy, the Alabama head coach, been talking to the plate umpire during this commercial break, just still trying to piece together what happened. And Aaron, I agree with you. You said it a moment ago. We haven't seen or heard a call like that before, but
nope.
There's a first time for everything, and it feels like they made the right call.
I think they got it right, yeah. Hats off to our crew, our camera crew, production crew, some really good looks. Got to see it from all angles.
I'm going to say most importantly to our audio crew, because thankfully the umpire's mic was working, because you and I would never be able to figure all that out unless Phil gave us the full breakdown. So good job all around, everyone. Here's S.J. Guerin, second appearance this series for the lefty, and she's working to Papillo. This has been a very long half inning, but there's only been 1 run scored for Alabama. That was the leadoff homer by Taylor. Since then, a walk, a bunt single, a walk, fielder's choice, and a walk, but that only begins to scratch the surface as to what's happened. Sometimes the scorecard cannot tell the whole story of the game. That's the case here. 2 outs called on 1 play, a force out at home. And then the runner called out, trailing the runner called at home at the plate, Vandegrift, after the collision at the plate. 2-0. 3-0. Guerin threw 4 innings, started yesterday in game 2 of the series, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs. They were earned, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Can't afford a walk here with the bases loaded. Lobs it up there at 48. Strike zone finder, 3-1. Three and 2. So with 2 down, the base is loaded. Runners will be off with the release of the pitch by Guerin. Excellent speed at first base if Papillo puts this in play. It's ball 4, a run scores. Papilla with her second RBI of the game. I'll bring up the very dangerous Brooke Wells. 2 home runs in the series, giving her 18 now on the season. Closing in on 20 and closing in on the top 5. 1 home run away from the top 5 single season all-time at Bama.
The Houston transfer that has been a slam dunk for this program.
That's out of play for strike 1.
Led that Houston roster, batting .341 with 10 bombs. And since making her way over to the Tide, she's exploded at the plate.
Oh, and 2 to Wells.
Much different look from Guerin. Was immediately pitching from behind to Papillo and then quickly gets ahead 0-2 to Brooke Wells. And boy, does Auburn need this out.
Out of play. Wells walked in the first, was left stranded at third base. Hit a solo home run in the third. Grounded out in the fourth. Team leader in on-base percentage at .532 entering the game here today. Popped up, foul ground, out of play.
Little off-speed flick there from Guerin, and you could see Brooke Wells trying to time up. Late trigger, pulling that lower body through the strike zone. She's trying to protect on the off-speed pitch. Reminder, there's 3 speeds out of this arm of Guerin, the most similar to Herndon's arm, who she just came in relief for.
Line shot, base hit into left field. 1 run in, bobbled in the outfield. A second run scores as White slides across home. And it's a 2-out, 2-run single for Brooke Wells.
Felt like a ticking time bomb for Bama, of a matter of when it was going to happen. After that walk of Kristen White in the 9-hole, the pitching change, then in the circle, facing the toughest part of this order today in Papillo and Wells. And Wells getting it done with 2 strikes, fending off the off-speed and punching that through the 5-6 hole.
3 RBI today for Brooke Wells. 4th hit of the weekend. She heads to the dugout as Kinley Pate comes on the run. Marley Giles steps in, 9th Alabama batter to come to the plate here in the 5th inning. Yesterday, Alabama had a couple of key 2-out hits to bring home those first 2 runs of the game. They get a big 2-out hit here from Wells after Papillo walked with the bases loaded with 2 outs. 0-2 the count now to Giles. Giles 1 for 2 today. Singled in the 3rd. Out of play.
After a huge break for Auburn with the replay, they collected those 2 outs, and they have just been scratching and clawing to get this 3rd. Bama still applying pressure. Bama this whole weekend has been lights out with 2 outs. Scored all 4 runs yesterday with 2 outs.
1-2 the count to Giles. Foul tip held on to by Ratliff, and that will do it for the Crimson Tide. They put 4 across in the 5th, 7-1 Alabama. Summarize when it comes to Alabama and Auburn. It's 7-1 Alabama as the Crimson Tide go for the series sweep. 3 home runs in this game for Bama, 4 in the series. 4-run 5th inning. 3 of the runs coming in with 2 outs, and Jocelyn Brisky now working with a 6-run lead against Auburn as the Tigers come to the plate in the 5th.
It's quite the 5th inning.
And now Womack to lead things off for the Tigers. That's out of play for strike 1. Womack flied out to center in the 2nd. Auburn got their first hit of the game last inning. It was a solo home run by Alyssa Hastings. Womack fouled it off, and it's 0-2. Haven Roebuck followed with a single, but that's been it against Jocelyn Brisky so far this weekend. Brisky went the distance in game 1 of the series, gave up 6 hits, but did not give up a run. Womack off her foot.
Even with the ankle guard on, too.
Oh,
back.
There's not a guard on that foot, though.
Not on that toe.
Called strike 3. Brisky gets the strikeout. Her 6th, one down here in the 5th. Strike 1 to Kyla Stroud. Stroud struck out back in the 3rd. Oh, and 2 to Stroud. Jocelyn Brisky looking for her 16th win of the season. And she's got back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th. 7 strikeouts now for Brisky.
The rise, the drop, the off-speed, continuing to show the excellence that we saw in game 1. She's brought it into game 3. The way that she splits that vertical movement, unbelievable.
Ball 1 to Ava Ratliff. Ratliff 0 for 1 today. You see the line for Brisky so far, just the 2 hits. Once again, impeccable control. She has not issued a walk today. This is her 131st inning of work this season, and she has issued 13 walks. Ground ball off the foot of the first baseman. Digging it out and getting in safely. It's going to bounce back off the netting. And Ratliff is safe at first with 2 down. Tough one for Wells to handle. Got on her quickly. Probably going to get a pinch runner for the catcher, Ratliff here. It is scored an error on Wells at first. That's the 2nd error of the series for Alabama. Their 19th of the season. They've been pretty good defensively all season long, helping them to this 38-3 record. Georgia Lessman will run for Ratliff. Strike 1 to Daigle Wilson. 0 for 1 today. Fly ball to right field. Coming on and making the catch to retire the side is Johnson. That will do it for Auburn. We have played 5 innings here on the Plains. 7-1 tie. Bama, Crimson Tide looking for the series sweep. They're on top 7-1. 2-out hitting has been key for the Crimson Tide all series long.
You know, of all skill sets and all metrics, I think, to track from an offensive standpoint, the ability to do it with your back against the wall with 2 outs is something you ought to be proud of. A team that's able to continue to put the foot on the gas with 2 on the board is a team that's going to go far. It's taken a little bit for Bama's offense to rev up this weekend.
Swinging at the first pitch, it's Taylor. Wow. Diving catch attempted by Walker. She couldn't hold on to it as it came out of her glove. Great effort by Michaela Walker. Cover a lot of ground. She's just about in center field, and she almost made a spectacular catch, but it's a double for Taylor.
Just, if the web of that glove was another inch long. Incredible effort.
Second hit of the game for Taylor, 4 in the series for the freshman. Here's Jenny Young. Takes ball 1. S.J. Guerin on for the second time in this series. 5th pitcher used today by the Tigers. Bunt by Young, foul. It's 1-1. Young hit by the pitch in the first, singled in the third, walked, and was thrown out at home in the 5th. One and 2. Popped up, might be playable. Roebuck moving over, but runs out of room beyond the Alabama dugout. Next SEC series for Alabama. They'll host Kentucky starting on Friday. Then 2 more series to go after that for Bama. They'll be at Tennessee and then host South Carolina. One, 2. Line foul. Auburn will be at 7th-ranked Florida starting on Friday. Their 3rd straight series against the top 10 opponent. Arkansas, Alabama.
It's been a tough road.
And Florida. Florida capped off the series sweep in Columbia. They beat South Carolina 6-1. Keegan Rothrock picked up her 21st win of the season. No hitter in game 1 of the season. A little control trouble today. 6 walks and 5 2/3 of work. Gave up 4 hits. Five straight wins for the Gators, who are now 14-4 in SEC play. Line shot, that gets down in the gap and all the way to the wall. Young heading to second, she'll stop there. Around the score comes Taylor, and Alabama has another run, 8-1 tie.
That was hung. Jenny Young saw this pitch so well. Curveball, too sweet over the middle of the strike zone, and with a bat and an eye like Jenny Young, you know that ball is going to get mashed. Almost looked like she hit that so much on the nose. It was like a floater through that right center gap.
Good series for Young.
Knuckleball.
She's been on base all 4 times today. 2 hits, 5 hits now in the series. Ball 1 to Vandegrift. Third extra base hit for Young, by the way. She had 2 triples on Friday night. She's got a double here today. Vandegrift lays off, and it's 2-0. Ground ball right side. Ooh, picked nicely by the freshman Wilson, who throws on the first for the out. Moving over to third is Young.
Tough bounce. A little bit of sun, a little bit of English on that ball. She's able to keep the glove on it. That popped up. Follows the bounce, secures it in the web for the out. That was a big one. I think that would have been a run. I know that would have been a run had that gotten past her.
One down for Salem Hawkins. Hawkins sends one out to left. Reaching up for the grab is Shaw, tagging at third and scoring the 9th run for Alabama is Young.
An 8-run lead now for Alabama.
Hawkins gets the RBI. Johnson with the cue shot back to Guerin, who throws to first. And that will do it for Alabama. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's now an 8-run advantage for Alabama. Auburn needs a score here to keep the game going when we come back. Alabama looking for the sweep on top 9-1. 8-run advantage means Auburn needs a score here in the bottom half of the 6th inning to try to force it to a 7th inning. Alabama looking for their first sweep of Auburn since 2021. Remember, they didn't have a series last year. They did meet in the postseason, the SEC tournament in Athens. That was a 1-run win for Alabama. But the 2 previous series in 24 and 23 were 2-1 wins for Auburn. So Alabama has won the series. Looking for the final word here with the sweep. Getting all 3 wins. This is hit well to left field. Vandegrift fighting the sun, and she can't haul it in. Looked like trouble off the bat. So Shaw is aboard to start things here in the 6th.
Combination of, I think, getting tripped over on that drop step. You can see she turns to the left side, then has to almost do a 360 or a 180 rather to try and track this ball down. Plus you got the high sky, the sun.
Well, Auburn in a good position here to avoid the run rule. They've got runner in scoring position with nobody out. Shaw at second with the double. And here's Hastings, who homered to bring in Auburn's only run of the series, her last time. Down to the count, 0-2. Let's take you back to Hastings' 5th homer of the season.
Yeah, this was the blast, dead center field. She saw this ball so well, deep in the count and deep in the stance. The timing all there, of course, the warm embrace from Coach Malvo. Felt like a big exhale offensively.
Tigers could use a little bit more of that here in the 6th. Goes chasing, can't get it. Brisky gets her 8th strikeout, 1 down in the 6th. Mikhail Walker takes ball 1. 0 for 2 today. Came into the game hitting .320 with 10 home runs on the season, tied for the team lead in that department. Popped up Mile high, left side of the infield. Salen Hawkins, the shortstop's got it. 2 down. I'll bring up Haven Roebuck. Roebuck, half swing, unable to glove it at first was Wells.
Check swing, little oopsie at the plate. Almost had the diving grab.
The 0-1 to Roebuck. That's how to play. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 8-run lead for Alabama. Fouled off. Roebuck just got a piece. Another 0-2 pitch from Brisky. Out of play. Roebuck has one of the 3 Auburn hits today. She singled in the 4th. 2 hits in the series. Blocked by Giles. 1-2.
Nice job keeping that ball in front of Giles.
The 1-2. Fouled off again. Good battle by Roebuck to keep this game going for the Tigers.
To me, if I'm Brisky, I'm pulling the string. We haven't seen a ton of the off speed from Brisky, but we know it's there. She has been able to spot it. You have to protect it.
Off the plates for a ball. It's 2-2.
Wow.
That misses. Roebuck fell behind quickly in the count, but she's worked it full. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming from Brisky. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. That will do it. Jocelyn Brisky gets her 9th strikeout, and Alabama has swept Auburn. Two wins for Jocelyn Brisky. She goes 13 innings and gives up just the 1 run in her 2 appearances here on the Plains.
Absolute money. Both games, game 1, game 3, that she takes the mound, took care of her business, handled it like a professional in the circle, hammers the zone, and really sets up a lot of space and opportunity for her offense to find a way to put some runs up on the board. A total team effort from Alabama. I expect to see this Tide team, I think, in Oklahoma City, are good enough.
39-3 on the season, 12-3 in SEC play. They are on a roll. They've won 6 in a row, and Alabama on a roll when it comes to the Iron Bowl for this school year. The Alabama wins the left-hand column, Auburn wins in the right. Add softball to the list of Alabama wins as they get the sweep here at Auburn. Crimson Tide ranked 3rd. Texas Tech, the #1 team in the country, losing this weekend to Utah. Oklahoma seems certain to move to #1. We'll see if Alabama's #2 in the ESPN Softball America poll coming up in just a couple of days. Alabama celebrating here at Auburn. They get the victory. 9-1 the final in 6 innings. For Aaron Miller and our entire crew, I'm Eric Freed. Thank you for being with us so long from Auburn.